Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Malmberg. I'm the production supervisor here at Alcon. I've been here with 8 years. And I'd like to tell you our story today about two individuals, John and Zach, who have autism and how they came to be here with Alcon. Our story is very simple. We needed people to work. We have roughly 800 people, and we need 800 people to work. Well, the problem is we weren't getting 800 people to work. So we thought outside the box, and we partnered in with West Virginia Workforce. And we started interviewing people that had disabilities. And we didn't know what disabilities they had, and that's okay. We just knew that we were looking for someone with some disabilities that was going to be reliable, show up every single day, and do the job that we required. Lo and behold, after the whole entire interview process, we ended up with two fine individuals, John and Zach, and they happen to have autism. So now the question is, how do we train somebody with autism? None of us had any clue on how to do that. So through trial and error and a lot of false starts, we ended up contacting the Marshall University, and they had an autism program. Well, great. And next thing you know, Dr. Adams is calling us, we're calling them, and she came up here and she's helping us develop job aids for them, standard SOPs, standard operating procedures for us, educating the workforce as a whole on what autism is and how we deal with people with autism. It is an exciting experience. We were very happy to do it. We'll do it again. I'm looking forward to in the future to even hiring more people with autism. Some of the lessons learned that came out of this is training. Training. Lots and lots of training. All right. So be prepared to do that. And some things you do work, and some things that you just don't work, and you got to throw them away and start over. But the funny part is because it works for one person, may not work for another. So you have to really experiment on what you're doing on the training. Be patient is the next thing I'd like to recommend. Be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you're not going to train these people in a day. And so it does take time, it takes patience, and you got to have the right trainer with the right aptitude to do all that work. So it's very rewarding when it happens.
My name is John DeWeese, and I work at Alcon, and my position at Alcon is a picker. The ways Dr. Adams has helped me is that making visuals for me, and what I need to do is talk to somebody in case I get stressed or anxious, and it really helps me too.
My name is Zachariah Shane Lewis, or Zach for short, and I currently work as a production tech at Alcon North Warehouse. For starters, it's actually been a great learning experience based on what I've been able to learn and work here during the past 9 months as an intern here, but also through my personal interaction with other employees working here. I've been able to learn a whole lot of stuff, not just with what I'm able to do in terms of the work that I produce, but also in the different ways that other people have actually been able to accomplish what they're able to achieve based on their own expectations, based on their work. And the most interesting part about it is that there is so much I've yet to learn here, because I haven't even been here for a full year, given that this is my very first job, and it means a lot to me.
Did the college program for students with ASD at Marshall University play a role in helping you with your employment? If so, what did you find most helpful from their support?
One thing I know for sure is without them, I wouldn't be here today. Not just in this room, just conducting this interview, but really just being able to learn so much about so many different things. Not just getting a job here, but learning about the interview process and how to properly conduct yourself in an interview, as well as different manners in which what you do before and after an interview. And if so, once you get the job, you're able to learn what you need to do in terms of how you conduct yourself at a job site like where I'm at right now at the warehouse. And once I go from there, it also, my experience through the intern program helps me in how to conduct myself properly in the long run. Basically, from my personal experience and perspective about what I do for this job, I've always understood that my expectations would always differ greatly from others, and that at the end of the day, how my production would be measured based on not only what others see in me, but also how I see myself in my work. Not only that, but also where I want to accomplish on a daily and weekly basis. Basically what it boils down to, based on what I've learned from the 9 months I've worked here, is that for a lot of people, what separates those who are really good at those jobs and those who are just here just to get a good paycheck varies on how much effort they're willing to put into the work based on how much they want to accomplish. Based on what I'm able to have learned in the time before and after I've gotten hired here, and even in the 9 months that I've worked here, in terms of those who fall under the neurodiverse population when it comes to wanting to find a job, or at least be able to find the opportunity to get themselves a job, it boils down to how a person such as myself or anyone under the autism spectrum, or even those who aren't, the first thing they have to recognize is really seeing what they're good at first and foremost, and see if any of those particular traits or trait in mind would be helpful in a particular job of their choosing. And once you figure that out, then you can devote the time and energy to really, use those traits or assets that you can use in helping in a particular workplace in mind. And once you go from there, then you'll be able to figure out what you can do in the long run. It's hard to say one specific thing that I really like about it, because given that this is my very first job, my first real paying job, this means a lot to me, knowing that I can, say that I've enjoyed thoroughly working at a place like this. And not just because it's like walking distance, but being able to do what you love and being able to do what you do and not leave the place feeling like you've left nothing to chance. If I were to sum up my experience with working with other people, basically boils down to just one word: fun. And personally, I've really enjoyed working with everyone around here, even the people I still yet to remember their names, and there's a lot of people working here obviously, so you really don't know everybody's names, but at least you know that everybody here has a job to do, and the best way you can honor their work in every way is to do your best at what you do. For me personally, one of the expectations that I have for myself is that if you can manage to do your own job effectively, it makes everybody else's jobs way easier to do.
For those employers who are looking to hire people with autism or any other disability, I recommend partnering with your local resources that you have. We have great Marshall, yay! But if you don't have that, reach out to other services in your area, and I'm sure that you can find somebody to help you with all the training needs that you need.
The reason why I like working here and my position is because the job is really fun. The best place to work is here.
I'm extremely blessed that Alcon has given me the chance to work at a place like this. The experiences that I have here will help me in the long run with any other job or career path that I'm on. And I'm eternally grateful for them for employing me here.